So, is crying your newborn baby's only way of communicating? Maybe you've heard or read somewhere that crying is a newborn baby's only way to communicate. Well, the good news is that there are many ways that your newborn can communicate with you, and crying is definitely not the only way. Newborn babies are communicating with us right from the moment they are born through their behaviour, and their behaviour is their language. And as Dr. Brazelton taught us, we can trust that language. Your baby uses their behaviour to show you how they are feeling and what they need and what they would like from you. A lot of your baby's behaviour is about bonding with you. When you respond to your baby's behaviour, it not only builds your relationship with your baby, but helps your baby learn and develop. But what do we mean by behaviour? Behaviour is a word that describes all your baby's movements, sounds, responses, and expressions. And watching and observing your baby is the key to understanding their behaviour and their behavioural cues. At first, it may be hard for you to understand your baby's cues because newborn cues can be pretty confusing at times. But don't worry, because as you spend time with your baby and get to know them, you'll find it easier to understand your baby's behavioural cues. So what types of behaviour do babies use to communicate with us? Well, learning about the 6 states which babies have, which range from sleeping to crying, is a really helpful start to getting to know your baby's behaviour. So identifying which state your baby is in will help you to recognise when they're ready to play or sleep or cuddle or rest and feed. So look at our Brazelton leaflet to learn more about baby states. So here are some other behaviours babies use to communicate with you. So we know that babies just love faces and are very sociable. So these behaviours tell you that your baby is ready to play and interact. You will see them looking at you with a bright-eyed look. You will notice that they might quiet down their body movements so that they can focus better. When you smile, your baby will want to smile back, but they may not be able to do this until they're a little older. But smiling at your baby releases hormones which can boost brain development. But babies have a short concentration span and can tire easily, and they will show you when they need a little break from playing and interacting by looking away, or their eyes will no longer have that alert look, and their eyes may open and close. This means they're getting tired and need a little rest. So watch and wait what happens next. Give your baby time. They will let you know if they want to play some more or had enough and want to go to sleep. Yawning and rubbing their eyes is also a sign your baby is tired. Babies love to listen, and your baby can recognize your voice and will love to hear it and follow it. Remember, they have been listening to it for many months while in the womb. Talk out loud to your baby. Ask them how they are doing, and when they're upset, tell them you're working out what it is that might help them. You will notice your baby's face looks relaxed when you're talking to them, and you can tell that they're listening. Babies love music, and playing relaxing music quietly in the background intermittently during the day can often have a calming effect on your baby. Try it and see how your baby reacts. What about when your baby is hungry? Don't wait until your baby is crying for food. Look out for the hungry behaviours, such as turning their head and opening their mouth in search of a nipple. This is called the rooting reflex and is considered the first hunger cue. You might also see tongue and mouth movements and sucking movements. And when you see hunger cues, feed your baby. What about if you see straining and going red in the face? Give your baby a moment, as often this is a sign they're busy filling their nappy. Newborn babies have immature digestive systems, and some babies have more wind than others. If you notice your baby is fussing and pulling their legs up towards their tummy, These are signs of discomfort. So try holding your baby upright on your shoulder until they settle. Sometimes you might see your baby startle when they hear a loud noise or a move suddenly or too quickly, or even just during a nappy change. Some babies are very sensitive to sounds and movements and can get upset. If this happens, help your baby maintain a nice flex position with hands towards midline, or use a light sheet for swaddling. Most babies find gentle but firm holding very comforting, but see how your baby reacts. Do they relax into your arms, or do they prefer to lie down? So sneezing and hiccuping are normal physiological responses, but sometimes in babies they can be signs of stress. Maybe something very alerting in the environment, such as bright sunlight or a lot of stimulation, or even just having a nappy change can trigger sneezes or hiccups. Watch your baby and see what happens next. Do they look fine and recover quickly, or is it a sign some help is needed? So, going back to the crying question. So crying is, of course, one of the many ways that your baby communicates with you. Babies cry when they're hungry, tired, uncomfortable, sick or in pain, or because they just want attention and they want to be close to you. Different cries mean different things, and not all cries mean feed me. As you get to know your baby, you will learn to recognize the different cries. Always respond to your baby's crying and never leave them to cry it out. In fact, we know by recognizing and responding appropriately to a baby's behavioral cues, they will spend much less time in a crying state and more time in a calm and contented state, which obviously is a very good thing. Finally, it's important to remember that every baby is different, and they will have their own unique behaviours and ways of communicating. So your baby is your book. Remember, you can't spoil your baby. Research shows that babies who have consistent and nurturing relationships early in life cope better with stress when they're older. They also tend to get along better with other children, and they're more likely to be physically and emotionally healthier as adults. So remember, by recognizing and responding to your baby's behavioral cues, you're building your baby's brain and teaching them that the world is a safe place to play, learn, and explore. I hope you've enjoyed this short video, but to learn more about baby behavior and how to respond to it, you can visit our website, www.brazelton.co.uk. Thank you so much for listening.